All right. So Grace says, I hear they're very close, which is what Jacob just said, to Superman casting. Might not be announced for a while, but it could leak very, very close. Role might even be cast or in final talks. Okay. And then Gunn reply. The Blitzwing guy asks Gunn, true. And Gunn says, this is what he says. Not true. Haven't had a single talk with a single actor about the role. Just making private lists, prepping material for auditions. But remember, Henry Cavill, not on the list. He's not the Superman that we want.
Yeah. I can't wait who's going to be in Superman, James Gunn's quirky Superman film that we got coming out here.
And then Grace, I guess, responds to this saying, Grace says, interesting, since it's not true. I guess I can say I heard his top choice is Logan Lerman. That's a name that's been going around for a very long time. I feel like that's not anything new. I've been seeing that on Twitter quite a bit. We'll see what happens. And then James Gunn says, for the record, I don't know who that is. So I don't know if that's more of a diss on Grace or Logan Lerman.
Yeah, it's like just Joe Logan just completely under the bus there. It's like
what will be really funny is if Logan Lerman is actually announced as the next Superman.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, okay, you're a liar. And then
he's gonna pull the Kevin Smith thing. I didn't lie. I had to lie to you to protect the story or whatever. And it's like, well, you didn't have
integrity of the story, sure.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what it was.
And by the way, Logan is only like 8 years younger than Henry Cavill. Just throwing that out there too. So.
He's 31.
Yeah, he plays Percy Jackson. Was he Percy Jackson or was he?
Yeah,
no, Percy
in the
Jackson.
Original ones. Yeah,
he is Percy Jackson. He plays Percy Jackson,
or in the original, not in the new one, obviously, but in the
yeah.
In the movies, not the Rick Riordan garbage.
And then the guy who wrote the novels, who's like,
I know that's why I was laughing.
He's literally he's giving himself what they're doing to Agatha Christie right now. He's doing it to himself. But then he says here, because he realizes that he just dumped on Logan Lerman.
Yeah, it's like never heard of him.
This isn't a dig at the actor. I don't know lots of actors' names. Now that you tell me who he is, I recognize him from stuff and think he's talented. But I've never
recognize him from stuff.
I'm like, sure, bro. He's like, I just totally threw this guy under the bus.
I just feel like one of those women on the reality shows just.
You know what's even worse? He could reply with the Snoop Dogg gif where he goes, "Who?"
James Gunn, just stay off Twitter so you don't dig yourself a grave, because that's literally all he does on Twitter now, man. He's just digging himself his own grave because he contradicts himself constantly, and now he's throwing people under the bus that he doesn't even know.
And he does not need to do this. None of this is standard marketing. He's I'm right there with you, John. Just get off of social media. You help no one. You hurt yourself. Every time, because if you're one of these people, you need to recognize that anytime you say something, speculation is going to pop up. That's the nature of your job. You don't need to engage with everybody and insult everybody who gets a right prediction, a wrong prediction. What's happening? We know it's
JC. Oh, I don't know who Logan Lerman is. Let me just tweet that out, even though I could just Google him and see what he looks like. JC,
got it.
Couldn't be bothered to look up the guy on IMDb. Yeah, that's what did I do? I was like, who's Logan Lerman? I literally pulled up, if you could see my other screen here, I literally pulled up IMDb and I have Logan Lerman's name up because I was gonna see who is this guy? I don't even know what he's in. Oh, he's in Percy Jackson. Okay, he is Percy Jackson. Okay, I know who that is. I know.
Didn't even give him at least a shout out. I was like, oh no, I know the Percy Jackson kid. Be like, yeah, I seen him in stuff, but I mean,
I preyed on him for 10 years.
Yeah. So now poor Logan is gonna log into his Twitter account and just realize he's blowing up for no reason.
But
I'm not even in the running for Superman. I got an offer for Batman.
Margolis Seth is Logan is 30. I thought they were going for younger. Well, who really knows? That was the original reason that James Gunn said why they weren't doing Henry Cavill, because he wasn't the right age, which meant he's going younger, which means mid-20s maybe, right? because he said it wasn't an origin story, so we're not getting high school Clark, right? So I don't think we're doing a teenager. So you're thinking like mid to late 20s, early 30s, right? Because Henry's 39. Obviously, I think he could still play younger. 30. He looks fantastic.
He's chiseled out of stone.
Yeah. So he could obviously play younger. It's not that hard, especially with the makeup and everything they got now, the de-aging stuff. It's really not that hard to play younger. I think. I mean, they're doing with Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones. Come on, that dude's like 80, so it's you can do younger. And but then Gunn kind of backtracked on that, did an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, and was just like, "Oh, there's a number of reasons why Henry Cavill's not our guy." No talk about age at all in that one, so that excuse kind of just disappeared. And
well, I told you
who
this.
Really knows? Who knows why?
I think I told Spencer this, but I'm not sure if I told this with John. It's like, like the narrative going out there now is that this whole thing is The Rock's fault. The why Henry Cavill is no longer in Warner Brothers, because apparently Henry Cavill told everyone that he was coming back as Superman because Rock was trying to pull strings behind the scenes and went over people's heads, and that led to Henry Cavill saying that he was back, but he was never officially back. That was all The Rock's doing. I was like, wait, what? Like,
I never cast Henry Cavill was never cast, except he was literally in Man of Steel, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and cameoed in Black Adam, the most recent DCEU film. Like, shut up, James Gunn.
But apparently that was the Rock. That's all The Rock's fault.
Yeah. Well, it's the same kind of logic they try to pull when it's like, oh, that cameo or that reference wasn't, on purpose. Haha, you guys got it. It's like all the stuff has to be cleared. Nobody just Cavill didn't just walk up on set one day and go, "Hey, do you think I can do this real quick?" He had to be contacted, and lawyers had to talk and sign things. You're so full of it.
Snake says the fact that James Gunn is messing around on Twitter instead of spending every waking minute making sure a Superman movie is a success makes me think he's not all that committed. I don't know. I can just I'm going to disagree a little bit on that. I mean, obviously, I'm on Twitter, and I get a lot of work done. We're working on the site here on YouTube as well. So obviously, you're not always working all the time. You do take breaks. You can go on social media. So I'm not going to kind of try and rail against him on that. But I did just say, I don't think he needs to be on Twitter digging a grave, because that's what he's doing. He's constantly contradicting himself. And he can scroll Twitter or whatever, but stop tweeting, and stop doing it on Instagram too.
Or if he wants to go make a private account under some random name that nobody will ever know, and just tell 4 people or what, I don't know.
Just post covers. Just post covers that you've been doing, and let people think that's somehow inspiring what you're doing.
Right.
That's cool. And then sell comics. Try and sell the comics.
Well, I mean, look, I don't know, clearly,
actually don't, because those comics suck.
Well,
don't sell those.
They'll send the stand too. They're gonna sell the stand, the flash stand with the cardboard on it of Ezra.
Don't try and sell the new crap. Just sell old Chuck Dixon Nightfall. That's what you should be pushing, because that's actually good stuff, and it might actually get you some goodwill. That people might be like, oh, he's actually maybe going to be adapting stuff that was actually really good, and people thought was entertaining and want to own and buy and stuff. That's what you should be doing. That's the advice I'm giving you, James Gunn.
Well, I mean, as we've clearly shown over the last few years that, James Gunn cannot help himself to get off of Twitter. That's why he got in trouble in the first place, because he spends way too much of his time on Twitter to begin with. So
I will say, I do find it interesting that the person he does respond to Grace Randolph quite a bit. He doesn't respond to us, and
that is actually something.
He's never responded to us. He's never responded about it in the comics. But he responds to stuff about Grace Randolph quite a bit, which I don't know. I feel like
he seems to have it out. He seems to have it out for Grace specifically there.
Yeah. Whereas
I can't remember everything.
I think the guy's a liar.
Has she ever scooped something super insane from DC? I can't remember. But maybe there's a vendetta thing there.
I think she's been scooping the stuff that all the stuff is canceled. It's
coming from her.
She's been on that.
There you go.